welcome to the WKS-Podcast episode 6. As you can probably hear, this episode is in English. So why is that, you may ask? Well, after producing episode 5 about the Reformationstag and Martin Luther, the idea came up to also do a Halloween special because both the Reformationstag and Halloween are on the same day. As Halloween has its origin in Ireland, where the common language is English, it was all too clear to do this episode in English. Another reason is, to be honest, to keep the Wer hat's gewusst, or in English Who Knew It feature about Martin Luther still a little bit difficult. Right, so in this episode I will tell you a little bit about the origin of Halloween. And I have to warn you, it could get a little scary and spooky during my talk, and if you like scary and spooky things, you should wear headphones while listening to this. It will make it even scarier. Check it out. So you ready? Let's dive into Halloween all together. Here we go. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the story, if you can. The origins of Halloween. Although it only became popular in America in the early 1900s, Halloween dates back almost 2,000 years when it marked the Celtic New Year. Originally known as Samhain, which means summer's end in Gaelic, many Halloween customs and traditions have roots in pagan beliefs and Irish folklore. In the 8th century, the Catholic Church declared November 1st to be All Saints' Day. The church calendar had a number of days honoring saints already. November 1st was picked to be the day to honor all saints who didn't already have a day named in their honor. And the Mass that the Catholic Church celebrated on November 1st was called All Hallow Mass. This meant Mass of all the hallowed or saintly people. It was commonly called All Hallows Day. And somewhere along the line, the night before became known as All Halloween, which was short for evening before All Hallows Day. It was then shortened to what we now call it, Halloween. These customs became popular in America when many Irish fled their country to escape the potato famine of 1846. Jack-o'-lanterns. The meaning behind jack-o'-lanterns is a rather tragic tale. As the story goes, a drunken farmer named Stingy Jack was turned away from both heaven and hell. As Jack wandered the darkness of purgatory, he made a lantern out of a carved-out turnip and a piece of coal to help light the way and guide his lost soul. The Celtics believed that placing jack-o'-lanterns outside helped to guide lost souls home as they wandered the streets during Samhain. The scary carved face on each also served to scare evil spirits away. When the potato famine forced many Irish families to flee to America, they began using pumpkins as a substitute since they were much easier to come by. Trick-or-treating in costumes. Since Samhain marked the end of the old year and the beginning of the new one, the Celtics believed the past and the present were closely linked during this time, allowing the lines between the living and dead to be blurred and the spirits of the deceased to mingle with the living. They believed that visiting ghosts would disguise themselves in human form and knock on doors asking for money or food. If they were turned away empty-handed, the homeowner risked angering the spirit and being cursed or haunted. Another Celtic myth was that dressing up as a ghoul or ghost would fool any evil spirits so that the spirits would not try to take their soul. Bonfires. The word bonfire, derived from the words bone and fire, means fire of bones, and refers to the huge sacred fires Druids, these are Celtic priests, would build to commemorate Samhain. During this time, the pagans would extinguish their hearth fires and gather around the sacred fire to burn crops and animals' bones as sacrifices to the gods. Personal and symbolic items were also burned as offerings for relief from sickness or bad luck in the coming year. When the celebration was over, the pagans would use the embers of the sacred bonfire to relight their own hearth as a way to protect them from the coming winter. Additionally, the sacred bonfires were thought to scare away any evil spirits visiting. People would stay close to the fires wearing costumes of animals' heads and skins to disguise themselves. Witches and cauldrons. Celtic folklore dates witches at Halloween back to the pagan goddess known as the Crone, also the Old One, or Earth Mother, who was honored during Samhain and symbolized wisdom and the changing of the season. The Celtics believed that when someone died, his or her soul went to the Crone's cauldron, known as the Earth Mother's Womb, to await reincarnation. The Crone stirred the cauldron to allow new spirits in and old spirits to be reborn. Witches also became known as evil by the Christian faith, who believed talented and intelligent women were receiving their knowledge and power from something other than God. Accusing women of witchcraft was used as a way to keep them from the threatening male supremacy. Witches in Christian folklore were ugly because evil was ugly, and typical symbols of witchcraft, brooms, cauldrons, and cats, were associated with the home and women's work. Black cats and broomsticks. The black cat's bad reputation dates back to the Dark Ages, when elderly single women were often accused of witchcraft, and their pet cats were thought to be a witch's familiars, or demonic animals that had been given to them by the devil. These old women were also usually poor, and therefore could not afford horses for traveling. They walked the woods by foot with the help of a stick, or sometimes a broom. Bats and spiders. Bats and spiders were also thought to be witches and ghosts' familiars. Folklore claims that if a bat was seen flying around a house 3 times, someone inside was going to die. And if a bat flew into your house on Halloween, it meant that a ghost had let it in, and the house was haunted. As the story goes, too, if a spider falls into a candle-lit lamp and is consumed by the flame, a witch is nearby. Orange and black. These colors were used by the pagans as they celebrated harvest. Orange symbolized the vibrant colors of their crops, while black stood for the death of summer. So, you're still there, listening? Not hiding under the bed, no crying in the pillows, no yelling for Mummy to save you from haunted creatures? Well done. This is the end of my little Halloween story. I hope you enjoyed it. Have fun on Halloween. Scare your neighbors. Don't scare your teachers, or we'll scare you back. That's a promise. See you back in school on Monday. Bye bye and take care.